So it's Wednesday morning and FedEx is supposed to deliver the rest of our parts today except the battery. So we're gonna go hang this cardboard sign at the end of our road because we're about a mile away from the road and we don't get service, so we won't know when he's here. Dun, da, da, da. We were originally going to put the stove over here, but then realized that the drain valve for the sink is underneath of here, under there, right in there. And so the stove wouldn't fit over top of it. And so it has to go here. And then we plan on building a tiny skinny cabinet right there to finish it off. Our inverter.
So we got this fancy dancy machine here. It's going to tell us a level spot down at the cabin. We are then going to use a rangefinder to see how much elevation drop there is. Because we're using a gravity-fed water system, so we need enough PSI to fit into our hot water tank.
So, as we were trying to install the water heater and find all the fittings, we talked to a plumbing specialist at the store. And anyways, I don't think we have enough PSI to run our hot water heater. This is our second hot water heater. First, I bought a $500 RONA hot water heater and found that it took too much electricity because it was an outside hot water heater. And then I bought a $700 RONA, I don't know how you pronounce it, hot water heater. And they said that we don't have enough, you need 20 PSI, and I think we have like 17. But also it doesn't make any sense because my dad did the math and how high our water tank is, we should be getting a lot more water pressure. So we're back to square one, and I'm probably gonna have to return that water heater even though it's mounted on our wall. I bought it at Home Depot, and now we have to figure out what hot water heater is gonna work for us. I'm so sick of researching hot water heaters. And he just stands in front of the fire like this. She's so cold. So I am currently sitting in our car at the road waiting for FedEx to get here. I've been here for 1 hour. It was supposed to be delivered at noon and it is 12:30. So sucks. On my second hour of sitting in the car waiting for FedEx. So today has been somewhat of a shit show. We've been waiting for this package all day. I sat in my car for 3 hours today waiting for this package by the road. It still has not come. It's 4 o'clock now. It was scheduled to be delivered at noon. So frustrating. And then we are out of water, so we went to go pump water from the pond so we could do the concrete, and our pump stopped working. And we don't know why, and so that was really frustrating, but we've got the last 4 concrete pillars in for the solar, so that's good. And then my mom did the concrete on the log wall, and it looks so good. So here's the wall. She redid all of the concrete in between, and it looks so good. It's still wet, so it's a little darker than it will be, but It looks so good. It looks so much better. I'm so excited. And then we put in the stove, the cabinet. Very exciting. So like I said, today was pretty rough, but we are ordering food. We are watching the Steelers game. And yeah, tomorrow is another day. Still no solar parts. All right, it's Thursday morning and we still don't have the parts from our solar. They're supposed to be now delivered today, but we don't have an updated delivery schedule on FedEx.com. They found our lost solar pallet and supposedly it's in Missouri, which does us no good. And so today we're trying to finish up the water. We found out our hot water heater won't work, so we're going to see a plumbing and water guy in town to see what hot water heater will work best for us, because that's the first thing that has to be hooked up when the water comes in the house, goes through the hot water heater and the filters. And so we have to move all that around now because we might have to get a tank propane hot water heater. So everything's changing and we're just trying to get as much done as we can, just waiting on the solar parts to come in so we can finish that. So this morning, my dad and I are running around getting stuff. This is our new hot water heater. It is not tankless, and we'll probably be putting it outside of the house and boxing it in. But it doesn't take a lot of PSI, which is like the water pressure that comes down from the house, and no electricity, all propane. Hopefully this is our answer, and hopefully I can return the other one to Home Depot. And then we're at a machine shop right now getting some black piping for the propane to run on the outside of the house. And yeah, Dylan and his dad are at home putting together the propane stove, the propane heater, and getting ready for the water heater here. Yeah, that's all. We've done a million circles around our town today, and we're hoping to get back so we can get some stuff accomplished. So now that we have a non-tankless hot water heater, we have to find a place to put it, because originally it was just going to hang on the wall and go in a cabinet and be fine. But now we have a 5-foot tall hot water heater that we have to put somewhere that we didn't plan for. Look at that. Look at that drywall job. Oh yeah. We observed the flame. Alright, so our water tanks are empty up top, and that is good because we need to fix the broken part. But our water pump is not working like it did before. So since the water freezes and our lines are not buried from the pond to get like the pond and stream water, we have to reprime the line. And normally we just hook up the pump and it works. But this time it's not working, so we got to figure out how to prime the line once again. So to prime the lines, we usually just dump 5-gallon buckets of water down the hose. So we'll see if it works.
Up stove.
Check.
Fix water pump.
Check.
And that's it.
Perfect. All right, so it's Friday morning. Yesterday was kind of a slow day. My dad and I didn't get back from in town until noon, so it was a really slow start, but Dylan and his dad hooked up the stove, which was so exciting. So that's our first appliance that works. And then we cut the countertop and got that in. We got the hot water heater, but it's not hooked up yet. So today it is raining, of course. We have 2 days left. We have all the parts for the solar except the battery. We finally got delivered. So we are gonna work inside until it stops raining, then we'll probably hop outside, and then tomorrow hopefully will be a full day of solar. It is so muddy from the snow melting. Like, our car, my mom and dad had to park down at the bottom of the hill, and we're just like sliding all over the place. It's been really muddy, and it's supposed to rain all day, so we'll see how that goes. We did that. Dylan and I just plumbed this whole hot water heater and our filters all by ourselves. I'm so proud of us. So the water is gonna come in down here, and this is an on-off valve for the water. And then it comes up here, and first it goes into this filter, which will be like a, I don't know what the microns are, the 20 micron filter, and then it'll go into like a 500 micron filter, catch all the sediment, and then from there it'll run down. There's a T here, so it will go into the hot water heater, and the cold water will go back down into the cold water in the wall. It'll go into the hot water heater, and then the hot water will come out right here and come out and go down into the wall. And it's already plumbed throughout the wall, the tub, the toilet. All right, my mom and I are working on building the platform for these countertops to go onto.
Hook up hot water heater. Check. Hook up heater. Check. Water filters. Check. Hang shelves. Check.
We're basically moved in. All right, today was kind of all over the place. We got a lot of smaller and big things done. So Dylan and I plumbed the hot water tank all by ourselves. We did it in the water filters, so I showed you guys that. And then Dylan and his dad finished all the propane. So we have the propane stove, which we are cooking our first meal on right here under the glowing burner. And then we also hooked up the heater and the hot water tank. So it's a mess in here, but we got that heater on the wall, so it's above the tub. And this is open. This is gonna stay open above here, so it'll all ventilate. And we took the door off here, so this is all also open to ventilation. So hopefully it'll heat up the cabin when we're gone. But all of the water is in this room, so nothing will freeze. And this thing puts off a lot of heat. It's a lot. But we also hooked up all of the hot water heater, the propane, it runs outside, the filters. And then we also did some little things, like we moved the fridge into the back room tonight, and we hung the shelves in the kitchen and above the stove. So the refrigerator is back here next to the cabinet, and the electric box will go there, and our inverter will hang right here, and our battery will be on the floor once we get that. Then we hung this shelf here where we'll like put all of our extra stuff because we don't have a lot of cabinet space. We just have this and right here and right here. And then hopefully we'll build a pantry back here along this little corner. We also hung this shelf up here, which will just be more storage. And then my mom finished off this back wall in the bathroom and it looks so good. She's very like detail oriented and it is beautiful. So to YouTube, it doesn't look probably as good as it does in real person. I can't wait to paint it because it's gonna be sweet, but I'll try to film it in the light tomorrow, but look how good it looks. She cut the drywall around every log and then used the caulking to caulk around it so no air can get through or anything. And she redid all this concrete so it looks so much better. Here's the concrete versus what I was using, and the concrete just, I like it way better than that brown log builder stuff. I mean, it just looks so much better. It looks great. We had a ton of delays this time, mostly because of our solar didn't show up, and also like that was a huge delay, but also the weather, and it is so muddy that we're almost unable to even drive out and in. We're having to like walk all the way up the hill because the bottom of our hill is so muddy. It's just like soupy mud, and it rained all day today, and it's good if it freezes, but it's not even gonna freeze, so it's just like a soupy muddy mess. Originally we had planned on taking my parents' tractor home, but I don't think that's gonna happen because it's just too muddy, and hopefully we can even get out tomorrow. So we've got lots and lots done. I'm super excited. That's the bed of goals.
Even Dwight Schrute wouldn't walk across that.
What? Today is Saturday. It's the last day and it's solar day. We finally have all the pieces except the battery to put together the solar panels. It's like this out, but wish us luck. So these are the rails. 2 boxes of rails. Those are our solar panels down there under the tarp. Dylan and I ran over the trailer hitch, so that had to be replaced. All right, so we have all of the solar panels on, but we're missing some brackets because we made it differently than they had in the plans. So they sent us that extra box of all the items that it took to put this together, and they found our original package in Missouri, and that should be at our house on Monday. So that also has more parts. So we're gonna use those to finish this. We made it differently because we made it in 2 separate sets of 6 so that we could raise and lower it for the winter months versus the summer months. So in the summer, it'll be laying flat how it is here. And then in the winter, we'll raise it so that it catches more sunlight because the sun moves lower. So it's December now. The sun's over here, and around 4 o'clock, it's behind this mountain. So it needs to be raised. But in the summer, the sun is like directly above over here. So it's better lower. But we just have 3 more to go. It was super simple. It was pretty easy. What time is it? It took us like an hour and a half? Huh? 2 hours or so probably. We also have to buy the wire to run from the panels into the house, I think. So we have the hole dug, but we don't have any wire. All right, we got the solar as finished as we could with what we have. We put in our mailbox this morning. My mom is finishing the drywall and painting the bathroom. And then she also made these for our countertops to sit on here. So my dad will cut the countertops later, the butcher block. And now me and Dylan and Dylan's dad and my dad we're gonna go dig a giant hole to put our water tank in so it can't freeze again. So we have to dig like I don't know, how wide do you think it is? Like 8 feet? Like an 8 feet round hole, 14 inches deep. So that's gonna be terrible, but we're gonna go do it. We're gonna go get it done. Our butcher block, and they put tape on the butcher block and it's stuck to it and we can't get it off. I tried to use Gooby Gone and then realized that you're not supposed to use Gooby Gone on unfinished surfaces, which is what the butcher block is. But it's just so annoying that they put this tape on there and it like ruins the countertop. So here's like the sticky from the tape. You can see it. Doesn't make any sense. Dun 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 dun.
Come back and.
Well, that's gonna be your water line coming in there.
We fixed it. So for these spots here, we're gonna wrap these so they look like a full column. And wrap that one, you know, all 4. And so it'll come down and cover this up. And then in this back corner, we're going to build a shelf thing to cover all this mess.
I would say we just go in the hole to be safe.
There we go.